Have you ever tried to make a never-ending tree card following scoring and cutting templates, and it wasn't fun because it took a very long time to make, or you saw one that looked just too intimidating to even try? Hello, I am Karen Heshik of Karen's Creative Cards, and I am sharing this video on my YouTube channel as well as on Crealies. Crealies has just released a new never-ending tree die card set that makes cards like these so easy to make. So just look at the fun interactive card that this makes. So you fold up and down and then out, and you get your tree, and then you fold up again, and there's another tree, and then to the front. So I have two little problems that I've had with never-ending cards that I've made in the past. One of them was when you give them to somebody, they just don't know how to make it and never-ending, how to make it move. So I used this little arrow from a die cut set that I really like. It's called Paperclip Arrow, Circle, and Heart. You're going to see these little hearts on something else I show later. But I used this arrow, and on there I wrote lift up. So if they lift up, and here I have an arrow going down, so to tell them to go down. After that, it seems to be pretty self-explanatory. It kind of just does it itself. And I think that they could get back to the beginning and make it go over and over, which is the fun part of never-ending cards. So on this one, I used this new pack of Crealies papers, Cozy Christmas. So it's two-sided papers, and you get 10 of them. And what I really like about this set is it makes really fun Christmas cards, as I showed here. But a lot of these papers could be used all year round. So I had used this snowflakes and these, which are very Christmassy. I'm going to use this on a project coming up, but that could be for any time. And then on the back is the plain colors, and there's, you know, stripes and stars and circles. So a lot of the papers, again, could be used all year round, but they have fun holiday ones that I'm using for these projects. One other minor thing that I wondered about when you make this is, where do you sign it? So depending on, you know, as you look at all of these, I did put a blank one here to sign, but I decided to make a little fold out piece here, and I'm going to show you how to do that. You just hang the die over the edge a little bit so that you don't cut this. And so now on this one, I can put a message in here and then say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, or what other message I might have. So I'm going to show you how easy this is to make, and I'm going to use the same die set and the same papers that I just showed you, and to show you how to make the card. So you take the main piece, which is this one, and you die cut it. Now this is just about exactly 5.5 inches wide and tall. So if you just take an A2, you know, take a regular 8.5 by 11 and cut it in half, you can easily cut this piece. And when you do, this is what you have. Now you need to snip these this little V here, and snip it there and there. And now there are score lines that you can score. So that would be going up, and this one would be going down. And you can reinforce those folds. And then this part here opens up. And there you have your tree, and then you're going to go up, and then you're going to open it again. So whenever you start working with this V should be going facing down. That's what I found. Now what I like to do when I'm working with a die that is interactive and has a lot of folds and different things to learn, I just take some paper that I really don't care about, and I make one just as a template. And I made myself an arrow here, so I know that this is the top, And of course this would be the bottom. And then when you're putting the pattern paper on, first of all, notice that all of these pieces here are stitched. So even if you found a template and you made this, you wouldn't have that beautiful stitching. And also these shapes would be very difficult to cut. Now on the front, the easiest paper, of course, to work for it with is a pattern paper that doesn't matter if it's up or down or sideways. Like these flowers here, it really doesn't matter. But of course, these hearts, it does. And on the other one that I made, again, these snowflakes, that paper, it doesn't matter what's up and down. But when on these here, you do want the houses and the bells and everything to be the right way. So you have to pay attention to that when you're attaching your pattern paper. So I have die cut the pieces, and they're all very pretty stitched, stitching on there, and they're going to go, we're going to put the 4 squares in the corners. It doesn't really matter which way that goes. And then this piece is here, of course, and this piece goes here, and then these 2 side pieces, it does matter what's up and down, and I cut them in such a way that I knew that they would be going the right way. So let's start attaching all of this paper. I like using liquid glue because then you can see that you have the borders just perfect all the way around. And you have a little time to wiggle them if you need to move it a little bit, which I wanted to, but so that's straight. And there's a little border on all sides. So again, if you've picked a pattern paper that can go in all directions, it doesn't matter how you cut these die cuts out or where you place them. But if you have a pattern that needs to be up the right way, you have to pay attention to that when you're cutting these out. But really all it is a matter of die cutting the main piece and then die cutting the layers and putting them on, and then make it move in the interactive, never-ending card that it is. Feels like I'm getting a little low on glue, so I'm going to keep the flow going. Now, of course, Crealies is a dye company, a company out of the Netherlands. So if you live outside of the United States, you can order from them on their website, and shipping costs and the cost of the dyes is very reasonable. But if you're in the United States, you can get this die set and all the die sets I show at the Frantic Stamper website. So now on the back, I have die cut the pieces, and this time I'm making my tree kind of just be out of this wavy pattern paper, which again, it doesn't matter which direction it goes, but I thought it might be fun to have a kind of a wavy multicolored tree this time. I decided that I would have a couple different places to write a message here, and this one I cut the stitching is from the back of this, so it's a light blue, so I could definitely sign my name there. And we'll get these corner pieces ready to go as well. Now these is out of pattern paper where it does matter what's up and down, but on my template I know that if this is the back, if you were doing this piece you would have to have it going the direction this way, but this four corners you want them to be upright as you're looking at it when you're gluing them on. And then I have this piece ready to go. And then I also wanted a place that I could write a message. So I took this piece of pattern paper and I folded it in half, and I took the die cut and I put the edge just a little off so it did not cut this folded flap here. So now I have a piece like this that could be open and another message could be written in there, and that's going to go here. And then you always know that this V should be pointing this way when you're working on the front. And I did cut out Merry Christmas. And I am going to put that, let's see, do you want it down here? Or do we want it here and here? Yeah, just to be a little different, let's do that. I'm not going to put an arrow on this one, but I will give them some instruction when I mail it, just to say this is a never-ending folding card, and start by lifting the front V up and the bottom piece down, and then you'll see how it continues to open and in a fun interactive way. Now there is a shadow for this die, but when I put it on the card on this pattern paper, I didn't feel it was necessary, but it's always nice to have that option, so you can do it with or without the shadow. And then I had some gems. I think I'll use a navy blue one here to dot the eye. Should I put a couple more gems just for fun? Maybe on this snowflake. Yeah, how about there? Making a triangle is always a good thing. So we have a Merry Christmas message, and then we lift up and out, and we have a fun Christmas tree. I think I might put some more gems on there so they look like ornaments. And then you can sign a little message there, and then you open it up here, and here is where I could also write something, and then we're back to the beginning. So never-ending fun with these cards. I wondered what else I could do. And I saw that on the introductory video on the Crealies channel that Mandy had shown how to take a patterned paper scene and make a never-ending tree card with it. So I did that. I had this very pretty pink scene, winter scene, and how you do that is you take the main die piece and you tape it on your patterned paper scene, and then with temporary tape, and then you tape all the other pieces in where they belong, and so there's the perfect border, and then you take this piece off and you die cut them. Okay, so you can see that I did that in that scene, and then in this case I cut a white main piece and I glued them back on so the pattern paper flows from one to the other. So that is just really pretty. And you could also use a pattern paper scene on the back, but what I decided to do was make another tree, and I used the Texto Negativo dies here to say Happy Holidays, and I left a place there for me to sign. And then I used some more of that pretty snowflake paper, and that kind of looks like a tree too. And then you're back here to the beginning. So beautiful scenery paper can be used, and any type of holiday paper. And then I wondered what else I could do. And I thought about the look when you go and you're doing this and you have a tree. In fact, if you leave this bottom one open, you actually have a full-length tree there. So basically what I did was I cut all the pieces, and then I created a two-sided tree ornament. And then after I put the pattern paper on, of course, I glued down those pieces. So now I have an ornament that's going to hang off my tree. And this one is saying Christmas Love, which is the layered word dies from Crealies, and then that heart and these hearts are from that original die set that I showed you early on with the paper clip arrow die set. And then the bottom part here I just used some brown paper, so it looks very much like a tree, only in this case it's not going to be a never-ending tree. It is just a tree I can hang on my Christmas tree. So I love how all these holiday projects turned out, and I hope they encourage you to give some of the ideas and products a try. And remember, again, if you're in the United States, you can find these Crealies unique dies on Frantic Stamper, and of course outside the USA on the Crealies website.